money, get the cake. Need the dough, make it bake. They all know that I'll be great. I don't have time to wait. Mess with me, a big mistake.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Killer Kawabo. Welcome to another episode of Men Operate in Reality. Alright, guys. Now, I'm actually doing the video, talking a little update on this Henry Cavill versus Frosk situation. Or Frosk versus Henry Cavill, I should say, situation. And it kind of goes back to something I actually missed 4 years ago. Henry Cavill made comments on the Me Too situation, and now 4 years ago, and now they're coming back for him now because of certain situations, which I'll explain. But before we get started, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know next time I drop, as well as if you want to help grow this page monetarily, you can donate to the Cash App and PayPal, and it'd be much appreciated. Okay. Now, we're going to start off with what happened and why I'm kind of bringing this up. Now, there is an ex-G4 commentator by the name of Frosk. Now, if you guys do not know who Frosk is, she used to work under G4. If you guys know who G4, I'm a video game aficionado. I love video games. I've been playing video games all my life, pretty much. And so there used to be a gaming channel called G4. Now, G4 decided to come back last year, and they had a commentator by the name of Frosk. Unfortunately, Frosk had a little take on the show. She had a little meltdown, which led to G4 pretty much shutting down 2 weeks ago. So I'm not going to play the whole meltdown. I'm just going to play a little bit of it because it's very cringy. Extremely cringy, but
those reactionary threads thinking that I'm somehow ruining your current X-Play experience because you can't objectify me how you...
Now, before I even continue, the reason why she's mad is because people try to call her out on a bad review that she did, and she a bad take on Twitter, I think it was, talking about PlayStation 5 was going to fail that year or something, and people got up on her. People got up on her and corrected her, and she got mad, so she did this little rant. And she's talking about objectification because in the old G4, you would definitely see some of the hosts like Olivia Munn, Sarah Underwood, half naked, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still follow Sarah Underwood right now on Twitter. She comes through half naked taking pictures. She got an OnlyFans now. But they were still... so obviously they're still respectable in terms of they at least had good journalism skills for what they were talking about. However, this woman right here, she messed up and got called out for it, and they roasted her in the comments. But so she decided to do a rant on TV, and let's continue.
You previously did to Morgan, or that I'm somehow less qualified to speak on something, but you can't quite put your finger on why, even though I'm reading the exact same script as Adam, but you have no problem with he's part of it. You're letting your unconscious biases ruin my day, and you're gatekeeping the gaming space. So maybe for 2022, we be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
And that's exactly
Modern life
that's exactly what they did. They pieced out, and 2 weeks later, G4 shut. I mean, not 2 weeks later. Excuse me. 2 weeks ago, G4 shut down. Everybody got fired. G4 got shut down. Now, obviously, there was more components that added on to that, but however, she was one of the main reasons why people got turned off G4. I know personally I got turned off by G4 after that little spiel because she got mad that she got corrected on her talking point. Nobody really cares about half naked women on the shows all the time when you're making bad takes like that. Nobody was saying that because G4 was going on for at least a good month or two before all of that happened, before her blow up. And not even a month or two. I think it was a few months. I think she did that like this year, like sometime like February or something. I think she did that January, February this year, and it was just downhill for her. Now, the reason why I bring her up again, because she's the queen of bad takes. She's the queen of bad takes. So, we're gonna read this article as soon as I read this tweet from our old friend Frosk. So you're gonna see why it's important. I'm gonna give you the context. So what happened? So Henry Cavill, obviously he played Superman. We're gonna show his face one more time. He played Superman or whatnot. He was in a show called The Witcher on Netflix. He was doing 3 seasons, and he recently left the show because of differences of the show. Now, Mr. Henry Cavill right here, he's actually a fan. You know what I'm saying? A fanboy of these. He loves video games. I think he has a Twitch actually. He loves video games. He loves comics. He loves all that nerdy stuff. He's actually a guy who I have much respect for him now. Like before, when he was playing Superman, I'd not say I didn't like him. He wasn't really a great Superman, but it was the story, how they wrote him. But I have a great respect for him as an actor because a lot of times lately, we've been having these actors and producers and whatnot just come down on the fans, calling them misogynistic, saying they hate women, saying we're just stupid, that you know what I'm saying, you don't like anything or whatnot, just trying to shame people who are not fans of these adaptations. For example, She-Hulk. People did not like She-Hulk. I personally did not like Miss Marvel. I thought it was horrible. So they keep punching down the fans and then say we're going to do whatever we want. Obviously, if you watch the show She-Hulk, you see how horrendous that show is, and the whole show was pretty much shaming men. They were pretty much shaming men through that whole show. It's a whole show about how much they hate men. But with Henry Cavill, he is definitely a purist in terms of the lore of a lot of stuff. So he really left The Witcher because they did not go by the show, or they did not go by the books. The producer even said they hate the books, they hate the games, and they're trying to do their own thing. So Mr. Cavill, he decided, you know what, I'm out of here. You're not gonna go by the books. You're not gonna go by the games, which the fans want. Then I ain't gonna deal with y'all. Now, with Frosk, this is why she said this. Henry Cavill said some very questionable things around Me Too and dated a 19-year-old as 30 plus. Seeing people throw themselves at his feet for The Witcher is weird. The show is whatever at best. This is one thing I agree with her. The show was whatever at best. I love The Witcher 3. If you guys have not played The Witcher, check out The Witcher 3. Great game. One of the best games I played. And the show was not good, not that great. But Henry Cavill actually did a good job on the show. He was kind of the one thing that kind of made the show at least a little bit interesting, you know. However, they messed with the lore, and there was a lot of backlash, at least for season 2, for the lore of that. And they just finished up season 3 because he's actually going to be in season 3, but he's going to be replaced in season 4. However, so he was not liking the lore changes, so he decided to leave. So this is why she said this. First of all, him saying questionable things about Me Too has nothing to do. This is one example of a shaming language. This had nothing to do with him leaving the show. Nothing at all with him leaving the show. So why she even brings that up is questionable to me. She's trying to shame him, trying to make him, because again, they try to make the people who are fans of the original like comic books or whatnot, who want to see the comic books actually done right and correctly without, you know, trying to make it overly woke or trying to put some type of agenda into it and actually make a good story. Because you can actually make an agenda-based show. It's just that they're not writing good stories. Like, some of these stories are very bad. They're very, very bad. And just because the reason why people like She-Hulk is because they try to address, what's going on with women's problems and male problems. But okay, that's cool. You could do that, but you got to make it written well. And if it's not written well, then I'm sorry, people are going to get mad. So, and people are not going to like it. So Henry Cavill overstands the fans. He overstands how the fans feel. He knows that the best way to really have what the fans want and enjoy is to give them what they want. To give them what they want. Now, obviously, with adaptations, they're not going to be the same as the exact comic books or the exact, you know what I'm saying, books that you've read or whatnot. And now they're going to change. But to change the whole lore like that, people are not going to like that. Just like we had with Lord of the Rings. If you guys know about Lord of the Rings of Power, they changed the lore in that, and it was monsterly. It was horrible. I seen only one episode. That show is terrible. A huge flop. But with example, another show, House of the Dragons, which that show itself addresses women's problems in that era of how women are treated as baby factories and how women cannot be queens. They were able to touch on those problems without punching down on men and actually having a well-written and engaging story. So, again, just going back to her tweet, the reason why she tries to say this is because to try to say that men who, because it's mostly towards men who are purists with the lore of a lot of these properties are hate women. Again, they hate women. That's why she added the 19-year-old 30 plus. They want to classify older men who date younger women as pedos. They want to classify that. And that's another thing as well that modern women, we should probably talk about in a different video. There's another thing where modern women want to shame men for dating younger women. They want to shame older men for dating younger women. And we tell them why every time we want to date a younger woman, they never listen and they never care. And then they try to shame us. Oh, he dated a 19-year-old as 30 plus. But then they try to say, but then they don't say anything when there is a all ages drag show where a grown man is twerking for children younger than 19, for people younger than 19, for children. We got children trying to be 14, children 13, 14, thinking, oh, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. Or not even younger than that. Shout out to OK, Let's Talk About It. He did a video where a young woman, a single mother, was trying to tell her, I think her boy, that he was a girl. And he had to be like 8 or something, 8 to 10. Trying to tell him he was a girl. She must have taught him that when he was a young kid, because he's growing up thinking he's a girl without no question. So we have these younger kids making these lifelong decisions, talking about, oh, I'm a girl, I'm a boy turned to a girl, I'm a girl turned to a boy, whatever, da da da. They forcing them to be to transition. They forcing them to take these hospitals or whatnot, doing what's it called, blockers or whatnot. All these weirdo things they're doing with children. But a 19-year-old who's old enough to make her own decisions, around 19, you pretty much can move out the house and go to college. When you're 18, as a man anyway, when you're 18, you can go to war and die. But they don't want to talk about that. But a 19-year-old who can go to college and make her own decisions, they mad at her for making a decision to date a 30-year-old, which is not a crime, it's not illegal, and no, it's not disgusting. That's another thing modern women try to say. They try to say it's disgusting and gross because these modern women are not being picked. When they were 19, 20, people were trying to choose her left and right, giving her free stuff, trying to take her out, buy her trips, all that stuff. But now when they hit the wall, when they hit 30, that's where they want to say, oh, if you date a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, you like to touch children, which makes no sense. Because around that time, they're not even virgins anymore. So again, it's another shaming tactic that Frosk wanted to do to shame Henry Cavill for actually standing up for the fans. And and honestly, I didn't even know that he actually did that. So I actually want to read this. And kind of break down what he said and see if we can agree with that here. All right. The Man of Steel actor Henry Cavill has drawn severe criticism for comments about the Me Too movement and the R word in a new interview. Cavill, who currently promoting, so this was 4 years ago, by the way. So this is when he was promoting the Mission Impossible Fallout, was speaking GQ Australia when the interviewer asked how much Me Too has affected him. So he says, "Stuff has changed, absolutely," Cavill said, before adding, "There's something wonderful about a man chasing a woman. I think a woman should be wooed and chased, but maybe I'm old-fashioned for thinking that." And I totally agree with him. And I bet you a lot of women agree with him. Now, if he was the one that was doing the wooing and chasing, they would have no problem. No, none whatsoever. But if it's a guy like me, if it's a guy like me wooing him, chasing him, well, I don't know. Maybe I might get it. Maybe not. Maybe I might get it. I might not. Whatever. But let's just say I might not get it. If it's a guy like me, they're gonna definitely do Me Too. Let's continue. It's very difficult to do that if there's certain rules in place, because then it's like, well, I don't want to go up and talk to her because I'm going to be called a artist or something. And I totally agree with him on that. Most men don't want to go and talk and walk up to women no more because they are afraid of being called an artist or saying they did something. They're saying they did something or whatever. We have a lot of men nowadays. As you can see, there's lots of reports, quote unquote reports, of modern women saying that men did something sexually inappropriate to them, only to find out that they were wrong and they lied about it. We have plenty of reports of the case. And now a lot of women, they've brought in the spectrum of what SA is, that we can't even know. We don't know that if we're saying the wrong word to a woman, that we could be called misogynist or an artist or what kind of phobia, whatever kind of phobia. You just never know what word is going to insult a woman. And what men have just come to know is, we go up to a woman, we say hi, we talk to her, we get to know her. Because women say they want it, we want to go talk to her, get to know her, da-da-da-da. We try to do that, it could be a problem. Only if you don't look like him. If you look like me, it's a problem. But if you don't look like him, I'm not even talking about white and black. I'm just talking about handsome man versus an average to ugly man. If you look like me, it could be Me Too. Now let's continue. Now you really can't pursue someone further than no. Exactly. Yep. It's like, okay, cool. But then there's, oh, why did he give up? And it's like, well, because I didn't want to go to jail. Yeah. Exactly. Because men and women have said this, red pill men have said, every person has said this. No means no. Now men are, before, it could have been a problem. Like when women tell us no, we might even press up a little further. Be like, man, what are you talking about, sweetheart? Come on, let me just get your number. You never know what's up. We could be friends. All that stuff. Now that women have made this Me Too, talking about men could do, if a man did something that I don't like, I'm Me Too him. Make him lose his job. Make him lose his livelihood. Men don't want to deal with that. So if a woman says no, it was like, okay, walk away. Then the woman, she will be pressed like, why did he give up? Or, okay, why are there no other men, trying to talk to me? or anything like that. So, and you see it all the time. You see videos online all the time where modern women are complaining that men don't walk up and talk to them anymore. Again, we're not trying to go to jail for pressing up for a girl we like. I'm not trying to go to jail for pressing over a girl we like. And I said social media users have been quick to castigate Cavill for his views. One Twitter user says that Cavill was absurd and that if he doesn't want to be called a rapist, all he has to do is not rape anyone. You don't have to. The way these modern women, talk nowadays, they act like they don't have, do broad spectrum. Sexuality is a broad spectrum now, but they don't think it's a broad spectrum to the R word, to how these modern women think. If you accidentally touch a woman in her behind, you might be called an artist. And yes, there's instances of that. Yes, there's instances of that. Look it up. Again, we have plenty of stories where modern women will call out a man. They will go through all this trouble just to find out that they were wrong, that the woman was lying on that man. No repercussions. The man still has to pay for that. And this is what Henry Cavill was talking about. Again, let's look at the Trey Songz situation. We had modern women talking about Trey Songz was inappropriate with them. Yet we come to find out that a lot of that was not true. And then the case was dismissed. So these modern women, they want to do this to get attention. They do the Me Too. They want to get attention. And two, is used as a way for men to lose their livelihood and their lives. It doesn't matter what you do. And I've seen this before. This is why I say, man, you got to purge our women out your life. Because you never know when you hang around a woman, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what she's going to like and what she's going to dislike. And then on top of it, you don't know what she's going to call the R word and what she's not going to call the R word. You got to watch yourself, man, because just to say, oh, it's not to R anyone, she does not know what the R word means. These modern women, these modern people, honestly, they've used the word so much, we don't even know what the word means anymore. Again, you could be called an artist for accidentally touching a girl's butt. For real. And men, they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that at all. So men are not chasing, which I applaud men. Leave these modern women alone. Men are not chasing. Men are not trying to really date like that. They've gone off the dating market. And I totally agree with him. I totally agree. And for Frosk to come here and try to shame him by saying he said questionable things around Me Too and dated a 19-year-old that's 30 plus as a shaming tactic is very disingenuous, and I can see why G4 tanked. Thanks, Frost. Now, what you guys think in the comments? Am I right? Am I wrong? Again, shout out to Henry Cavill. Definitely have respect for him, and not even in terms of this. I didn't even realize he was talking about this till Frosk actually said something, but just for how he treats the fans. He doesn't condescend them. He doesn't talk about them. He realizes the way the fans feel is we're passionate about some of the stuff we want to see, and if it's not done correctly, then all right, guys. I appreciate you checking out my video. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know next time I drop, as well as if you want to help donate to the Cash App and PayPal, you can do that and help this page grow. I appreciate it. I will talk with y'all soon. Peace.